Or looks stupid.
Well, you're live, so
Oh, we're live. We're live. Great.
what stupid on that?
Cool. All right. And go. All right, cool. Well, welcome to Paint Club. Oops. Welcome to Paint Club. My name is Rick Strohmeyer. I am a graduate of the Ilvermorny School of Colored Wizardry, along with my co-host,
New York Comic Con selling artist Matt Hattress.
There you go. All right. So it is the Saturday of New York Comic Con. Nicole, how are you doing today?
My leg hurt.
Your leg hurts.
My leg.
Because you've been busting your ass off all day, right?
We've been hustling at Martian Toys.
Oh.
There's still a bunch of cool customs, but we have sold a bunch of cool customs.
There you go. That's
and my
cool.
surgery foot's mad at me.
Your who?
My surgery foot. That's what I call my.
Foot. Oh, okay. I heard something totally different, and it's probably a glitch in the system. And so
I want to know what you heard.
My stripper pet. Oh yeah. I'm like, all right, you're not. It's and the flash in my mind came from that scene in the first Blade Runner where she's like the dancer has the snake. Like, all right, Nicole has a prop and occupation that nobody knew about. So, New York Comic Con, we're changing the format a little bit, or abbreviating it, because I know Nicole is tired as hell because she just got off the train from the event to come grace us. So, rundown. Nicole, first Comic Con you've entered a piece in, had a show in, right? All right. And it was where?
At Martian Toys.
Martian Toys. It was the
Mad World. Mad Can Show.
Mad Can Show. That is a pretty fun platform.
It was.
Like there were some cool, there were ideas, like I was a straight paint job. It was nice being able to lurk around and see everybody's work on the internet, seeing everybody's stuff. I could tell everybody was busy as hell because there was, for the lack of internet feedback to those who were too far or too unfortunate to not come, it was a sign of how busy everybody was. So hats off to y'all.
It was cool because it was not as packed, obviously, but right. It still felt like Comic-Con.
Right.
Which was nice.
Absolutely.
And you had 3 pieces?
I had 3. I had 1. Whoops. Okay.
I know 2 sold.
I had, yes, I was excited. That's exciting. Well, 1 of them or 2 of them are from leftover from my show in August. So Aaron, they decided that they would put a couple of my pieces that were left over from the show at New York Comic Con. So not just Mad Cans, I know my Siren made it there as well because I saw Dom holding that with which was actually cool to see Dom holding.
And that's gone.
The Siren did?
I thought so.
Sweet. But
I gotta look tomorrow.
So that would be cool to find out. But yeah, so it was cool to see Dom holding the Siren done by our designed by our RX-7 or inspired by the art of RX-7. And then he was holding a Mad Can in the other hand that was done by Rico. So it was like, oh, this is a circle is fucking complete type thing. So it was it's pretty cool to see. Yeah, and like it was just neat seeing like all cans. Excuse me?
You had your 2 Mad Cans.
Yeah, I had the Jurassic Park inspired one that I painted a matching shark bomb for, and same dude picked up both of them, or same person. And then one of the ones from the show, from the show with Jason, sold, and I don't know about the third one. And yeah, so I have no idea what what happened. I'm excited to find out though.
It's been very fun to clear off a shelf and have to move something else somewhere, so it has a higher view, visibility. And then that sells, and then we get to move it back, and it's nice. It's been nice.
That's cool. What are you drinking tonight, Nicole? Before we go,
Oh man, I'm
deep
having my
dive.
plain ass Snapple because I had water and I had lemonade that was overpriced at the Javits Center. I don't know why I'm talking like that, but yeah, it's $7 lemonade at Javits. But you know what? See, this is going to be my random rant for the night. So that's a lie. This is going to be one of my random rants for the night. You go to a Yankee game, you spend like $10 on like a big ass lemonade, and it's like 90% water with like the lemon rind that, you know, like when they do that and then they throw it in like the cup and it's like, look, here's the lemon. Lies. So it's like lemon flavored water. I would rather spend the $7 at Javits Center because that shit was actually lemonade. And I was like, when I watched her make one for somebody, I was like, yep, I'm gonna go get lemonade. And I don't like paying for convention food because convention food is usually nasty.
Right. Well, okay. You know who had the best convention food? Oh, that I've experienced?
Who?
5 Points.
Yes.
Because of the food trucks.
I was going to say because
of the food trucks. I absolutely loved that idea.
Yeah. And even everything around there is like walk across the street and get a great cup of coffee.
Right.
Like it's perfectly located. Javits, you walk outside, you can get a street dog.
Okay.
Which I don't mind.
Right. Funny enough, that's what I was eating mostly at 5 Points because they were the cheapest thing. Then it's like spend $3 on 3 hot dogs, and then you go right next door and spend $7 on a basket of mini donuts. So,
which you probably did.
I did, and then I got what's her Electra and Noir donuts too, because I was like, thanks for your help. Nice hanging out with you this weekend. So yeah,
I wanted a burger, and as we were leaving, I said to Aaron, I was like, Aaron, where's 38th from here? That way or that way? Because right now I'm directionally challenged and tired. And he was like, Nicole, your train station's at 34th. And I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, never mind. I'm not going to get my burger. And he was like, it's only 4 blocks. I'm like, yes. Like 4 and then another 4, and my feet are already telling me I hate
it's 8 blocks because you have to go back.
It was also the first time. So here's another tip for anybody that's going into New York Comic Con and they can do this. Mm-hmm. Take the train. And I say that not because I'm like, oh yeah, your 50 bags, if that's what you end up doing, you know, is good fit. I did not buy that much stuff. I got like a few little things and I got my friends some stuff. So I had maybe like 2 bags the other day and then 1 bag consolidated today. And that's fine. If you don't mind carrying bags, fuck it. But they made a stop at the Hudson, like where all that stuff is now. And that was not there for years and years and years because there's nothing there. And for a decade now, up until this year, I would drive in because it made sense to just drive and park and, you know, put your stuff in your trunk and who gives a shit.
Yeah.
That's usually, not counting gas, $7+ to park close to Javits during event parking times because that's what they do. And because price gouging is legal in New York. But now that the train stops, the subway stops there, my round trip from here to Grand Central, $20. Nice. And a subway ride is $5.50 round trip because it's $2.75. I spent $25 each day. I spent less in 2 days. If I go tomorrow and I say 3 days, I spent less in 3 days than I did in one. Really,
that's cool.
Like, I know my feet hurt or whatever, but why would I want to be pushing my foot on a gas pedal for all that time?
Right. No, and like it makes sense.
Traffic. And if you're in Jersey and you can, take the ferry.
Oh yeah.
Those are my tips.
No, it makes sense. Like, my buddy and I, we do a yearly trip at the Fogo de Chao in October. So like once or twice we have parked there, but ever since the Green Line, the light rail came in, we've pretty much just parked at my house, walked the 4 or 5 blocks to the Green Line, and then it costs us $3 to go there, maybe $3 to come back, depending on our timing. But it would cost us like 15, $20 to park there, and it's like I live from 4 blocks from the station. We can get a load. We can have a drink or 2 or 3 here.
Mm.
Take our drunk asses to go get all the meat on swords we can. So like,
Yeah.
I'm totally a fan of that. And like the Green Line doesn't change prices when like the Twins are playing down there or the
Nah.
Vikings are playing over there. So like they don't charge more. So like, but certain parts along the route, people all have that same idea. So they will park by the station so that on residential at no cost to them and do that. So like, no, we have a new football stadium, soccer stadium, football, like four miles from my house. And there are certain restaurants that we will not go to when a game is on because there's no fucking parking and everybody's nuts. They've lost their goddamn minds. Pardon my French.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Let me cover her ears.
So
she can't hear you.
did you hang out at Martian Toys or did you walk around and check out on
Oh,
other
I
folks?
walked around. I walked around a lot. Yeah.
Very
well,
cool.
to our people, for the most part. Like,
right.
Okay, I sound jaded,
Uh-huh.
and everyone can understand this because people are always like, "What do you mean you don't like walking around and going up and seeing everything?" I worked for New York Comic Con. I worked for Reed. I've been up and down every single aisle multiple times in my life. I know where my interests lie, and I know where I need to go. So I see my people, and then I go back and forth and back and forth. On Thursday when I went, I had one outfit on, like I had a Fifth Turtle shirt on, and I should say outfit, and then I ended up helping Aaron for a little bit, so I changed it to a Martian Toy shirt, and then Juan gave me a Nino Bunny World hat, and I was wearing that, and I forgot who it was, but they were like, "Do you just walk into a place and go like this and get like things?" And I was like, "No." But that is kind of exactly what happened. I didn't do this, but it just happened. And Benny calls it the phenomenon because it started with Colin, with Big C, when I went to DCon 2018. I brought him a bag of snacks while he was setting up his booth. And then I end up setting up his booth and working in his booth. And Benny saw my post, or Benny saw Colin's post and was like, "Nicole, I thought you were fucking vacationing. Like, what happened? It's been 10 minutes. So when he saw me today, he goes, "Oh, how many booths you working at today?" I'm like, "Stop."
Whatever. That's part of you having a good time though, right? That's part of you having a good time though, right?
Yeah, I like watching our people succeed, and I like making things easier if I can do that. Shows are hard.
Mm-hmm.
And like, for our people who own the galleries and the toy companies, Tenacious, Vaulted, Stormy Vault, Martian, My Plastic Car, all those guys, like they're selling every single day, but they're also setting up, breaking down, packing, inventory counts, uploading everything on. It's a lot more than like what us minions in the booth have to do.
And they need a pee break and a food break. And it's like
those don't exist.
Oh my gosh. They sure as hell do when they do when I go, because I make sure I'm like, hey, come on. Who's gonna watch so I can go pee?
At the booth, and this was really nice because like not every company or places like this, like since I started working with Boost instead of with the company,
Mhm.
maybe this is now I'm catching on to the theme here. It's the company, not the booths. The booth people are like, yeah, you need to go eat. The company's like, eat.
Yeah.
Because like Aaron went and got us all tacos.
Okay.
Each like every time someone took a break, when they came back, they were like, "Oh hey, Ethan, did you take your break? Like, go get water, go pee." Like that,
Yeah.
and it was so everyone was so like consistently like paying attention to each other. It was nice,
That's cool.
but we missed you.
Well, thank you. Like maybe next year. No, it's like so. I guess last night or this morning, as the time is melding together, I was like, nothing says that I have to go for like New York Comic Con, maybe even Decon, but nothing says I have to go to the whole event, right? So like,
Yeah,
and so I'm like, I'm trying to justify my mind, like, excuse me. Excuse me. So anyway, like it was really nice to see all the people, everybody's like toys, their prototypes, etc. And as you know, I may have two or three concepts bubbling around right now. And it's like nothing says you have to be there the whole time. So like because of my work, I only have 4 or 5 days a year I can actually take off for personal. So it's like, what says you can't just come in and I don't want to say like special guest appearance, but yeah, like be able to put in like a day and a half cameo before you have to go gallivanting somewhere else. But it's
yeah,
like,
like
yeah,
doing a signing time.
yeah. I mean, like, yeah, and it's just like I said, I don't want to sound like a prima donna for that, but it's like, you know, I love working the convention. Like I'm like 6, 7. But I really enjoy it. I think it's fun. The setups can be a pain in the ass. Because you never know if everything's gonna work until it works. And,
And oh
you know,
god, Trav, it's Wi-Fi.
right? And like, yeah, like the last time I was at Decon, I had set up, I had done a booth setup at home, and then we get there, and then the electricity isn't on, and it was pretty much like, okay, the electricity will be on eventually. So like George Gaspar, just I was kind of freaking out when I went walking around to go see people, and I saw George, and he and I were talking, and I told him like I'm just a little stressed because the electricity's not on, and I don't know if my black lights are working, and he just said, just imagine they're all on, and just set your shit up as is, and because they'll have it on. I'm like, okay. And then like, so I went back, did my stuff. And this is also like the first year at Anaheim too. So it was a little scary. So I'm like,
Oh yeah, new
I
venue and
like
everything.
I had this primitive setup for everything to be in, or for half the shit to be in under blacklight, but it worked. But I was like, when is this gonna happen? And like, and Wi-Fi, I don't remember what we did for Wi-Fi, whether or not my buddy, we just used my buddy's setup or not, or whether it was there, but like we survived with that. But yeah, it was pretty scary about like, oh my gosh, electricity is needed.
Yeah.
So like, you know,
Oh, conventions. Right now, I'm
yeah,
too tired to move my feet to go get the things that I got to show them off. So I'm not going to do that today.
okay. I'm gonna do a post event on next week.
I'll
So like,
post it tomorrow and then we
okay,
can talk about it next week if you
sure.
want. I'm just like, oh God, if I try to get up and get them,
Take care of yourself.
I think I might fall over. There's a
Right.
really cool piece that I got at Stormy Bolt that he's trying to get the guy like more well known and I really liked it. So I got that.
Wow. Who's the guy's name? Let's give people bumps.
Oh fuck, come on, man. Hold on.
Oh,
Now I'm gonna be on a pause screen and I'm gonna go look because
that's all right.
you make
Well,
me feel bad.
well, I'm not trying to guilt you or anything. I just figure like if I was thinking, I guess sometime this week that if if we don't do like the segment somebody else's paintings to at least give out a bump or two each week. So yeah. So sorry I caught you off guard.
Yes, you did. Let's
I
see.
did.
You did.
That's me.
Because I
Well, it's
know
cool.
so
Like
always posts every single one. He's posted every single piece ahead of time.
oh, yeah,
It is by Maru.
Maru.
Its name is Kinku, like Knkoo. And the artist is, oh wait, never mind. I'm so stupid. The
Oh,
artist is
you're type.
Kinku.
Uh-huh.
The name of the figure is Maru.
Okay.
So Knkoo art.
Cool. Following now.
Really, yeah,
Very
it's
cool.
a cool guy with
Oh,
cat
that is
ears.
cool.
Yeah, it was nice and it's heavy.
Right on.
Nice price point. So I was like, yeah, fuck it, let's support new artists.
All right. How tall is it?
Size of a can bot?
Canbot? Okay. So bigger than a fist.
Yes.
Okay. There you go. That's pretty cool.
And of course I'm doing this and I'm like, I have a baby hand. What am I trying to what kind
That's all right. We'll utilize that for good and not evil later on. Or maybe we'll utilize them for evil and think it's good.
It's Halloween season.
Nah, dude, something better.
Oh.
Something fun. All right. So that being said, so what we're let's see. I did see on the old Instagram that 1000, and I knew that 1000 was going to be with Martian Toys. I dig is that Hammerhead figure that he's got in. I ended up finding out about that dude like 3 years ago when I was looking for how to do pricing for murals, and I found his YouTube channel, and he was giving out some awesome advice for like mural painting and stuff. And then when Kevin did curated the container show, and I was like, why does that name look familiar? I'm like, oh, because I saw it over there. I'm like, oh,
That's cool. He's
yeah.
nice. He's very nice.
Oh,
Very humble and like chill.
there you go. We need more chill people in the world.
Oh, the print that they have at the booth.
Mhm.
It's
Okay.
it's like of a chameleon and trippy colors, and it's just really cool.
Right on.
Really cool. And Mike Sanchez has been walking around doing black light on all of the toys that are black light lit and like throughout the day. So it's been real cool because it's like yours lights up and like Nikki Davis's like and things like that. So he's just been like, to when people walk in, like to kind of like show it. And I'm the asshole that like when people don't have their mask because they have a bullhorn.
Oh,
At the end of the night, I was being like, put your mask on. But during the day, I'd stand behind Dom and I would just go, mask on. and like some people didn't like it, obviously, and they'd like walk out the booth, and I'm like, mask motherfucking on, like the rule.
I guess they needed to have a little alien with a mask on it.
Like the people like there were some people that which is just mind blowing because they had like a health team or whatever that like how some I don't have a mask next to me, but like if you're eating or whatever, it hangs off like this.
No.
There wasn't even one on the ear. It's like you're not even trying.
Right.
And there were like a few times I was trying to be nice about it, like, hey, if you don't put your mask on, they kick you out because they were kicking out fans. So I'm
really?
like, yeah.
That's crazy. Okay. But all right, well, how dense do you think it was? Like, I've never been to a New York Comic Con. I've been to like Well, I've been to other conventions, but like New York and San Diego's Comic Cons always seem like they're just packed as hell. And
Nothing even
so
remotely like that.
nothing like that. So would you say like about a quarter of the normal population? No, less
More,
than a
maybe
quarter?
like third.
Third? Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't say half because it's usually like 500,000 people or whatever. But I think from what my friend who works for the company said, it was estimated at 46,000 today.
Okay. Seems like a lot of people. Oh, like I know it's not. I know for this type of event, it's not. To me, that seems like a lot of fucking people.
It's
Ugh.
massively, but yeah, it's still in certain areas, like in Javits, there's like a certain area where like where Martian and all them are, and like our people, and the more like niche things versus like the repetitive like Funko hats, shirts, bags type stuff.
Right.
And like the big displays of like Dragon Ball and all that, they have like those huge things. There's like a little narrowy kind of room thing where usually it's like Figpin and like Loungefly who do like the Alice and like Disney bags and stuff.
Right.
But this year they had just like a few smaller artists in there and a chocolate maker. That was weird. But
But it's
like
different, right?
yeah, but
Okay.
it also realized that they were just desperate to sell space. Um that space, because of what they try to fit in there, is super narrow, like even in your head, even though it's not. But so that makes you even with the less amount of people think like you're still like,
Okay.
and the bathroom lines are still grossly long and obviously not cleaned that much. So I did not pee until I got home.
Oh my
Nope.
God, that sucks.
Oh, fuck that shit.
No, no, no.
The
Always
guy
gotta have a booth buddy so you can go pee. Like,
with the dudes at our booth can obviously just go,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Pee on the floor like anybody, any other dude. Yeah.
oh, what they were telling me on Thursday was that like the lines were so long that girls were just dipping into the men's room. And I'm like,
No. We were at a bar last night. We did happy hour, and we were at this. I don't know how this is shit's still legal, but we were the bathroom there had two urinals, two urinals, and a toilet. But the stall for the toilet didn't have a door. And yeah, and you can just look at it and be like, it didn't not once have a door, and it's no longer there. You can see like on the other side, yeah, there are no hinges on this side. There's no way that they had a latch over here. I got a new camera, folks, so I'm trying to figure out like my frame of references nowadays. So apparently, to hold my hands in front of my head, I'm like it's a cube, a square foot. So anyway, yeah. So no hinges over here, no latch over there, just a partition. And I was like, they really don't want anybody to take a shit here. And I didn't have the wherewithal or the in consideration to ask any of the female coworkers that were joining. I'm like, hey, do the bathrooms in the ladies not have doors either?
I would have so done that. I would have been like, hey.
So yeah, I can't imagine going into that bar and then going into the bathroom and they're like, oh, there's a lady taking a pee there because I think you're lost.
I was at one point and I was like, oh my God, my dad's calling me.
Yeah, Dad.
No, I ignored it. Dad, you usually watch this, but probably not on YouTube, probably watch it afterwards. So I ignored your phone call, Dad. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. I swear to God. my
So
my my life with him is a sitcom.
All right, so let's see. So besides going to New York Comic Con this week, did you paint anything, or just you set up your Mad Can, didn't you? Or you finalized your Mad Can this past week, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Okay, very good.
I did that, and I've worked a bunch on my Chunder, which is almost done, and I just have to recast the hearts that I'm gonna send out to
Gift wrap.
no, don't invite me to anything. Strange Cat.
Oh, okay.
Because, well, as you know, because I told you, we're gonna keep them with the cord stand.
Right.
So, and the ones I have are just flat. So I'm gonna just, since it's quicker as a thing.
How many of those non-stand ones do you have?
Two.
Two? Okay. Well, that's not a, yeah. I
Oh,
just got my silicone and resin to do my first revised method. So now I have to find something to make a mold of. For
that's
like,
gonna be exciting.
I finished this dude.
Oh, I love him.
Thank you. I finished this dude along with what I perceive is going to be my last Mad Can for a while, which was for a commission. So
He reminds me of
not sure if I can
Monsters
share.
Inc.
Totally. So this is a great form for that. In fact, I'm going to take it to go get varnished as soon as we're done with the show. So the weather has turned shitty in St. Paul or Minnesota, so it's now getting cool and humid, so can't varnish anymore. So yeah, I finished this dude a while ago. So this was the other one I got from Max Toy. So I'm pretty pleased with the way they came out. So both somewhat black light reactive, and actually I don't remember if I varnished this one, so I'll just take them both and get varnished again. So yeah.
For wondering, my dad wanted to tell me that he had an unused train ticket.
Oh, so you can go tomorrow.
Oh, fuck. I shouldn't say fuck that, but I'm just tired. But who I did see an artist looking at lately.
But you'll wake up tomorrow at 6 o'clock and be like, you know what I need to do today? Ride the train for 2.5 hours and go to New York Comic Con one more time. That's what you're going to do tomorrow. That's what you're going to do in about 8 hours.
No, I'm not. Why do you know me?
I'm not giving you a hard time. I'm just like that's what I do too. You know, like, oh, I've already rested and
like my foot's gonna say.
Oh yeah, I forgot about your foot. Sorry.
No, but then I'm a glutton for punishment because like I've had broken back shit for whatever.
Right.
Oh my god, he goes, "Do you pay to get into Comic-Con?" How many times do I have to tell him that?
I don't know.
Hey, if he does have a ticket, but then I have to go. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I hate you so much.
I just know that patterns repeat.
I actually had thought it earlier this morning. I was like, you know what? I should pack clothes just in case I sleep at Aaron's house.
Not a bad idea.
And then I said it while I was leaving that I was like, yeah, I thought about it. And I was like, nah. And Aaron's like, you shoulda. And I was like, well, no offense. I don't really want to sleep with Ethan, Dom, Mike. Like I'm listing all of the people who are sleeping.
That's
I was like, you can, and I'll sleep with Lucy.
God. A lot of people for one spot, but it's cool. That artist apartment is pretty cool to stay in. So
yeah,
I'm pretty grateful that I was able to crash there for 4 or 5 days, and all I had to do was pay for parking, and parking was cheaper than one night of a hotel in Philly. So
oh yeah,
Like, yeah, I parked on the other. Apparently, I found the garage on the other side of the block. So like, and like my GPS kept looping me around and around in some weird ass shit.
Because
And Aaron's called.
they're on that.
Uh, yeah, they're on this weird ass, like it looks like a peninsula on a street. It's weird. And yeah, so the GPS kept spinning me around, and Aaron's calling me because he wants to make sure that I get there at night and that he's up so that I can get a key in and stuff. And I'm just like, she said, screw it. This place says it. And I think Gold Street's over there. And then like I get out with my bag and like all this shit, too much. And I'm like, oh, I'm on the other side of his block. That's great. You know, like, and yeah. Um,
Yeah, life's easy.
but it was like, okay, I parked it inside, and they just take the car and they just put it away until you're ready for it again. So like whatever was in there, if I needed it, it's just gone until like you'll get the car. So I'm like, let's just grab everything and take it out. And of course I didn't have wheels on my bag, so I'm just carrying everything like a dummy, and it's all right. I had no expectation of what I was going to do at that point in time. So
Do you have
that's me.
wheels on any bags?
Yeah, I just didn't bring them.
Oh my god.
Whatever. I mean, I could have put. I had the big ass tote that I had most of my toys in. I could have put everything in and then just wheeled that out. I just didn't think about it at the time. That's what I get for showing up late.
Better late than never.
Yeah, that's all right.
In the midst of a hurricane approach.
Excuse me. Yeah, the hurricane didn't show till late. That's right.
Till you were on your way back.
Mm-hmm. That's all right. Everybody turned out all right. Aaron and I got rained on, and so yeah, the hurricane started coming in Saturday of the show, and so like Aaron parks at an open on ground or ground level lot, and
Right.
like he looks at me, did you bring an umbrella? I'm like, no, it's in the car. Did you bring one? He's like, no. And so we had to play like good block, and just zigzagged of all the blocks that had awnings, so we didn't get totally soaked, but we still got soaked. But my backpack, I found out, is very wet, water resistant, because my iPad didn't get touched at all, and like nothing inside the backpack was damp. So I was pretty pleased about that.
Take damp versus
dead.
Yeah,
exactly. So yeah, that was an awesome adventure. And then of course the next day, because like the hurricane's coming in and you got the rains and whatnot, and mainly you had the rains. You didn't have a lot of wind in Brooklyn, and like all these places were closed down. Why am I talking about my show instead of New York Comic Con? Let's go there. Like, what a fucking tangent from hell.
Welcome to Tangent Time.
Yeah, welcome to Tangent Time. I'm your host, and this is Nicole, but I'm going to talk some more. All right, so New York Comic Con. You got set up. That you got there after all the setup and everything, right? Okay, so you didn't have to. Oh, great. Okay.
I think I'm seriously traumatized from like getting there, but so like everyone who said, like, I'm talking shit here, and I'm sorry to all of our friends, I love y'all, but I'm about to talk some shit here. When you work for the show, like if you're setting up, let's say Wednesday, I'm there Tuesday, or we're there Tuesday, and we would be there for like 7 a.m. to 1 a.m.
Okay.
with barely any eating, to then wake up and be there again at 6:37 a.m.
Yeah.
Repeat.
No, con life is hard. It's gratifying, but the week, it's like 10 days worth of work.
Oh my god, and I give my
and
old
intense.
so much credit. But I feel it's kind of funny because a lot of like us now that like, we're getting older and stuff, a lot of the people who I used to work with, because there was a lot of younger people than me, the ones who are older than me are like, I'm getting so tired. I'm like, it was bound to happen. Like,
I'd help my dad do swap meets, and yeah, like I'd watch him for before I moved up here. He'd do he'd bring boxes and boxes of this, that, and the other, and he'd have his set up and on his table and da 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 da. I'm like, one day I'm gonna move away. What the hell is he gonna do? And he had just basically figured out like the smallest amount of stuff that he needed, for the least amount of stuff and the least amount of trips he needed to take to his truck. And he always eyed other people's like wheeled carts and wagons and shit. And never got one of those. I'm like, Dad, like what my dad really needed was just like an EMT stretcher bed that, collapses and raises, and he could have just wheeled it out right out of his truck, wheeled it, propped it up so it was the right height, and then wheeled it all out to where his table was, and everything was already set up there, and he only had to do one trip. That's what my dad needed. Can't run a toy con like that.
oh my God, that'd be interesting.
So that's pretty cool. I mean, like, I guess last 5 points that we were supposed to have, my plan was to not come with the display, but to have bought one to buy one at IKEA in Brooklyn and just go pick it up and then set it up there, and then like to have already arranged somebody to come pick it up so they can just have this $100 5x5 foot thing for their own home for display and stuff. Because I was like, I'm gonna buy it there. It's gonna be like $150, and the convenience of not shipping something halfway across the country.
Yeah.
That's pretty appealing. So it's like the cost of just buying it for 2 days is going to the benefits are going to outweigh everything else. And then I made some cool blacklight inserts so I could have everything. And of course, we don't have the show. But I was like, as soon as we went to quarantine or started shutting down, I was making my blacklight inserts. So I'm like, whenever I get to go again, I already have my plan figured out. So
done. It's already done.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
Your years prepared.
Yeah, pretty much. So
no last minute nonsense with you.
It's because last year's news is new. All right, well that's cool. Like, all right, so give us we're gonna cut this a little short tonight, but give us 3 highlights from the event, Nicole. I know you're put on the spot. So I'm not going to say your favorite, but just, give us 3 things that popped in your mind that were like, oh, wow, that's cool.
Such an asshole. Okay. Concrete Jungle.
Okay.
That new Biggie fucking statue that they showed was super beyond what they posted, and it got so much attention. So I don't know, for me that was really fucking dope. So shout out to Steve for that one. Okay. Oh, why do you hate me? Why do you hate me so much?
I don't. I'm just like, hey, that's Concrete Jungle. That is a legit. I saw that.
I think also seeing a lot of our friends having solo booths this year was really dope. Like Red Guardian, Rios, having their own established booths, not Artist Alley, not like, a part of Martian or a part of Tenacious. That was definitely a highlight for me.
Okay.
And then I think I got to give Stormy Vault credit too. Like, I mean, Martian, obviously, because that show every year they do the custom shows, and I feel like that's phenomenal to do
Mhm.
something like that for a Comic-Con. So I'm going to give you 4.
Oh,
So
that's fine.
that, how Martian does that while selling other products that are known or unknown, and, a variety of things, but hosting those custom shows every year to me is so fantastic because it gets so many artists like out there, and it's just different. It's a gallery show in a convention. I love that. And then Stormy Vault, that's my other one, that they are bringing a lot of lesser known artists from like Asia and different parts of the world, like over here, and really like pushing them to like be in the same categories as the ones that we know are popular. Like they're sharing shelves with popular people. So, they're not just being like, oh yeah, buy the Quicks piece, buy this piece. It's look at what's next to it. And this is and they talk about it with you. So yeah, the line might take a little long, but you get info and you get to learn stuff. So, I got to give them credit for, since it's their second year, and seeing how
Okay.
their first year was versus their second year, they've really like,
They've amped it up.
yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
all of our friends always do like amazing stuff. Like Tenacious always has a great booth. My Plastic Art always has a great booth. Like, it's so hard to be like, oh, shout out to like whoever, but those for me, I think were like the coolest things to see. Like our friends having their own places, like Concrete Jungle having his stuff out on display for you to like see on the pedestal, not in a not with a glass around it. Like you could like get up close and see the
Oh, that's
detail.
cool.
Oh my God, yeah, incredible. And
Very
then
cool.
the custom show, and then getting to learn more artists.
Oh, that's cool. Like, that sounds positive and
Yeah, I think it's
developing.
something that I think it's something our scene like really needed after last year.
Okay. Very good.
As much as like a lot of people were, rightfully nervous with COVID and everything, I think it was definitely
Well,
something that like brightened spirits to push and do more.
it's a hell of a risk. Like you don't know, like there had to have been plenty of people there who were vending who were probably paranoid as hell that it would like be canceled a week
Yeah,
to a month in advance. So you were like
after spending
either
that money.
yeah, right. So I'm glad it was a success, or glad it looked like a success.
Yeah.
We'll see what everybody says afterwards about how they feel about it. But like, it's nice to. I'm sure it's nice to go out into the convention and have like that camaraderie after what, 18 months or longer of shutdown. Yeah. So like, oh my gosh, like 20 months.
Yeah.
So,
My-
excuse me. So
The
yeah,
last convention we had was Decon 2019.
right. Sure. So like almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay. No. Well, that's great. So I love it. And while we're talking, I ended up looking at my Plastic Hearts setup, and I didn't. I'll have to hound look at Red Guardians, see what Red Guardians got going on. I know I saw his booth set up earlier. I saw Alex having his setup with Tenacious, and I saw a lot of cool stuff. What stood out in my mind was like that I didn't realize that Big E sculpture was for Comic Con. I saw I was paying attention to the dollar his foot with it on the dollar bills. I was like, wow, that's in depth.
It's pre-order next week, but he brought it to just
Sure.
to display this.
I don't
Super
blame
cool.
him.
Oh
I
yeah.
saw I saw a ton of prototypes and like,
The price point,
uh-huh. How big is that thing? Don't.
I'm looking
Bigger.
around to figure out a box size. Ravager box size.
Okay, so about that. That's pretty good. So the Ravager's about 7.5, 8 inches tall, and so
And
that's
since it's like square and has like the concrete, that's why I was like,
yeah.
what's a boxy size? I could think.
Okay. So the box is
Thank
probably
God
about
you
10.5.
understand dimensions. the way
I
say.
do. I'm spatial oriented, so I got to know like this, and
Thank-
this. Like I said, this is 9 inches, so we figure that out, and then well, mine is. I don't know what yours is. You have little hands, so like 8.5. So, so whatever. But no, like having I don't know, like a dollar bill is 6 inches long. So, what?
Who knows these things?
Lots of folks, but like in the military, you have to fold your shirt to be no wider than 6 inches long, or no wider than 6 inches. So they use a dollar bill as their measuring. And that's their guide. Because it's like 5 inches and like 7/8 or some stuff. It's really close, but it's not over 6. So they use the dollar bill as their guide, so that if it's the dollar bill, then it's under 6 inches. So
Right? The more you know.
the
I don't have a star, so
just make a little stick figure.
I got a shirt at Comic-Con on Thursday because
Mhm.
every year I go to Tea Turtle and I always get a convention shirt. And I got one that's a fox. No, a fox? No, it's a raccoon with a blanket around it. And it has like the reading rainbow or the more you know sign, like star. And it just says anxiety. I was like, yes, that's mine.
All right, we're gonna have to cut this a little short.
Yeah, because you
It's
have you have a date.
It's almost 10 o'clock in Minneapolis, and I
You
have
have
to go
a
to the.
date.
Well, I have an appointment at the makerspace, so I can go get.
Is it
to, like,
24 hours?
Yes, but like the rule is like the last one there shuts off the lights, so I'm hoping I'm not the last one there
Oh
for the
God.
night. So whatever. I know where all the lights are, blah blah blah, but it's just like I don't know. It's in a decent enough neighborhood. I just don't want to be out and about like super late, and
No.
so I'd rather be up late here than out and about. So we'll get some cool shit varnished, and my dead chunder is part of the things that have to get primed, so I can paint it tomorrow and then get it ready to go. And because I looked at the calendar and I was like, holy shit, I'm going to be late, and I don't like that. So
Yeah.
so let's
That's
be
why
fucking
when you said the
professional.
10th earlier, I was like, don't say that. That
Right.
one day matters.
It does. It totally does. I have to get like international shit shipped out on Wednesday, blah, 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 blah.
Monday, the post office is going to look at me like,
What the fuck are you doing?
that I need one of the cots, like you were saying about your dad.
I have found that like when I ship more than 4 boxes, I like to use, here's going to be my technique of the week. I like to use bungee. I have the flat bungee cords that are about an inch. The bungee itself is an inch wide, so it's flat. And I will stack them up in a strategic wall, and then I'll use a couple bungee cords to hold them all together, so I can just carry one big block into the post office.
I do that, but without the bungee cord, and I end up dropping half of it.
See, you need a binder, and yeah, so like I have like 4 or 5 that are just various lengths, so I can just figure out what's the most optimum. And the reason I use the flat is because then you have a lesser chance of putting like some type of crease on the corners or cut in the corners.
That's
So
fair.
then like, and then it's less worry for you to damage the box, and then it's less worry when your customer gets a box that has a gouge in it. So like using those doesn't put the gouge in it, then you don't have to have that anxiety of like, oh my gosh, because they have no idea when that box got the gouge, whether it was at the very beginning or if I'm using an old box. So like once you
Yeah.
when it's like there's nothing worse than seeing that box and then whether or not and when it's pristine, you're like, oh cool, everything should be fine. When it's been roughed up a little, I'm sure I'm not the only one that has some anxiety about like, oh dear God, Jesus, did my thing survive?
Yeah.
And
Oh,
so like
every time.
I mean like it's happened to me a few times where I've shipped stuff out and it's just like horrifying having to deal with insurances and stuff. Um, I had one guy show his box that was just smashed all to hell. And he's like, well, this is what I got. And he's like, your thing survived because like I pack it. I try to pack it well, but he was just like, look at this, look at how great it is, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, great. But I've had some shit smashed to hell and destroyed. Um, and that goes both ways too. So I've received stuff that comes in well packed and poorly packed. And
Oh man.
so yeah, like I'm a big nobody. I mean, like, and this concept has been covered before in like other shows and whatnot, but nobody ever people like see the cost of shipping and they're like, oh, $10 for shipping, and it costs more than $10 to ship a thing. Or like even if the post office says it was $8, it's like they don't. Some people just don't realize that packing material is part of that shipping or like
Yep.
the box itself. I'm like, you're not even, I don't even count the time it takes to go to the post office. But it's like packing material isn't cheap.
No,
And it's not
not at
free.
all.
But like,
Especially tape.
like, anyways, there's my weird rant for that. But it's like, but the cost of packing is better than like the worry of whether or not something gets to where it's supposed to be.
Oh,
Yeah, like
God.
I'm always relieved when somebody like shit sends me a picture of their thing and they say they like it and it came in safe. Like holy shit. Yeah. So there's the feel good vibes. All right, Nicoletta, I will we will talk next week. Why
Well,
don't you
you
tell
and I will
everybody?
talk throughout the whole week. So
Oh, sure. Sure we will. All right, tell all the good folks out there where they can find you when you're not at New York Comic Con.
I was about to say if Rick's correct tomorrow, but that's the Mad Hattress on Instagram. And now I've been showing my art on Facebook. So Nicole Alexandra on my Facebook.
Very good. I am Rick Stroh, RICSTROH on Instagram, and we're here for the good vibes. We'll see y'all next time.